What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Joining me again will be Jabari. Welcome, sir.
Hello, great to be back, man.
Yeah, long time no see. Winner of the mid division over here. How's that feel?
It feels pretty good. I am now fully focused though on this open division, and yeah, man, that was epic for sure. That was, that was a hell of a series. So much fun to play. But I'm just so psyched for this open division, man. This is a proper C tier tournament, man. We have true top players in this thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of nuts. It's gonna be a lot of fun. While we're talking about that, I'm gonna bring up the bracket right now. Let me hide the maps for the first set. We have bracket, but we have 52 participants in the bracket. Lots of big names you guys will probably recognize. Have a few of the top pros seen here. Kingston.
Unexaggerated here, man. I've followed, AOE as an esport for years, and I'm not especially familiar with any of the players in here. I think the highest rated player right now is like top 40 about
Yeah,
on
I think
the
you're right.
ranked ladder. So, yeah, we don't have any of the big names, but I feel like these guys are, just a hair away, man, from that top level.
Yep, Kingston and here he's our number one seed. I see some big names in here. I recognize El Matador, Eli, freaking Andy. He's another top 40 guy. Dr. Cosmonaut, Luciel, another top. He might actually be like top 30. 100% sure. And Sal's good game down. All high up, and a lot of recognizable names in here if you're from the Discord. It's going to
Yep.
be
Can't
a fun.
Yep, can't forget Exorcist either, winner of the last tournament hosted by the Discord. And I've seen him win tournaments in other Discords too. I think that he's a guy whose true power level might not be revealed yet.
Yeah, absolutely. But we have a few sets for this evening. 3 time permitted. We are going to start with Pleb Chariot or Tech Chariot here, and Weber. And we have the home maps and the draft up on your screen now. And I'm actually going to boost the zoom ever so much here for you this time since we don't have so many divs map draft. But Weber will be with Spanish, Mayans, Britons, and Poles. Tech Chariot will be Italians, Aztecs, and Teutons. Home map will be Nomad for Weber and Arena for Chariot. So lots to pay attention to here.
Yep, interesting drafts. Weber's got all his bases covered, whereas Pleb Chariot looks like he's drafting for an arena only tournament here, basically. But let's see what he chooses for Arabia and Nomad.
Yeah, I mean Arabia, I feel like has to be Byzantines. To be honest, I've seen Tech Chariot play a lot, and I think we're gonna see Italians actually on Arena.
Yep, Byzantines should play fine. I assume he'll be facing Britons or Mayans on Arabia, so set up to counter that. Though I don't know, man. A lot of these games in the first or second round of this tournament are going to be a little bit lopsided, and I'm pretty sure that Tech Chariot here is the underdog quite heavily.
Yep. But that said, let's dive in. Let's get underway. I'm at 5 seconds when you are ready.
Count it down.
3, 2. It will be Byzantine versus Mayans. TM Weber here going to play the Mayans here. Not a big surprise, honestly. Very popular Arabia civilization. Byzantines, really good civ overall, in my opinion, but no real eco bonus here, right? So gonna be more of a standard start. See what he goes for too. Byzantine very flexible.
Yep, very flexible. Versus Mayans, I feel like Tech Chariot is just going to go pretty much straight into Skirm, and that's going to leave him, of course, vulnerable to Eagle. But in Feudal Age, man, in order to survive, I think he needs to go hard Skirm.
Would make sense. Byzantines will have that cheap skirm spear camel rider combo if they so choose. Mayans most likely go archers. Maybe see Eagles as well. It's always interesting to see how someone plays Mayans, Aztecs, Inquisitive, honestly. Maps, not very forgiving though for either player. TechChariot has almost all of his res forward. 1 gold hidden behind a wood line back here. Be difficult to secure his base. And on the opposite side, a little bit easier because his gold will be very safe, but ultimately everything else is forward for Weber.
Yep, and Juicy, in Discord you're actually sharing your AOE2 DE, not capture age.
Oh. One momento. But anyways, between these two civs, which would you prefer to have here?
I mean, Mayans is just kind of absolute consensus, a higher tier Arabia pick. I mean, Byzantines, they're inclined to go for trash, man, and trash are just generally the weaker units. I mean, the player who's going archers and eagles is the one who's going to be on the offensive more often, and I mean, Mayans is just a higher power level, straight up, in my opinion.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, Byzantines, I feel like you can never count them out. They do have those nice power spikes, especially getting to implement. Or Cataphract is always something that can be very dangerous, though against Mayan archers, probably not the greatest worry. But still, we'll see how he plays it. And yes, Katos, straight into the casting the open bracket. We were actually holding off on casting this bracket until we finished the last one. So
I mean, the higher the level goes, the less reliably you can count on the game going to Imperial or being able to get unique units out. Um, there's definitely going to be a lot of fighting long before castles are dropped, even. So, TechChariot, I think, is just going to be working with inferior tools as the Byzantines for probably the parts of the game that will decide the outcome.
yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, we'll see. I've seen TechChariot go into heavy stone walls, kind of a strategy you're familiar with, Jabari. But then go like fast imp monk treb, and I've seen him have quite a bit of success with that. So we'll have to see what happens here. But ultimately, I'm kind of curious how he plays it.
Me too. As TechChariot, looking quite clean so far. He's actually got less TC idle time. There's no reason to think that he should be the underdog here if we didn't have the foreknowledge of Elo.
For sure. I mean, things are looking fairly competitive for both. Not really big taps. Period actually has less idle TC time as well, so that's always interesting to pay attention to.
Yep, though it looks like he's about to get housed.
Things happen. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, all in all, I look forward to seeing how it works out here. Right now, it's just skill moments. We do have a barracks coming up here for Weber.
Yep, feudal click for TechChariot as well. 19 feudal click with no barracks. I feel must be scouts.
Could be.
Yeah, definitely not what I would expect if I were in Weber's shoes here.
The monkey is over here though, so he should see the barracks. It hasn't. Has not scouted that. TechChariot did get the better advantage of that change. Kados in that because he's playing tomorrow at 6 a.m. Awesome, Kados.
Nice, yeah. Very happy to see these games coming in. This open bracket, man. We're going to see a lot of stuff here. These early rounds are going to produce some very interesting dynamics. And by the end of things, man, it's just going to be a straight up pro tournament. I can't wait.
Yeah, it will be very interesting to see how things end up at the end. We do have a good bit of 2K players, so it's going to be fun these early rounds. Unfortunately, I don't expect them all to be all that close, but a lot of these guys that are lower end of the spectrum in ELO here have played in the previous bracket, and they are more familiar with the maps.
Yep, and there's also something about the character of players who would sign up for this. You don't sign up if you expect you're going to be non-competitive. And Tech here, he's really actually putting on a very strong start. It looks like he's fully walling out what are going to be these men-at-arms. Given that he loves stone walls, I feel like he will be able to keep this out. He's bringing scouts like faster than you ever see from Byzantines. This is some clean, smart play for TechChariot.
Yeah, maybe he prepped for this one here, getting a little bit prepared early, knowing he's gonna be up against there. TechChariot, though, is idle on the team right now, and he also has not been able to scout. The elo gap is pretty significant here. I think it's like, say, 200 points, to be honest.
I didn't check. I guess it's like a little bit more, man. From the seeds, I feel like Weber's probably 1650, something like that, and Tech is like 1300.
Let me find out. Weber is a 1759 elo. Tech was a 1223, but we know he is a little bit higher than that, depending on the map situation. I think I've seen him as high as 1370, 80. But still,
Yeah.
quite the difference.
Yeah, and in the end, man, he only got one scout out. His TC idle time is getting up there. I feel like Tech has fallen decisively behind. That brief period of optimism for him is truthfully gone for me, man. To be down 4 vills already and to be at such a stark military disadvantage. He's going to be facing a spear, men-at-arms, and archers with just a single scout to defend. His walls have no resources on the inside. Tech came at this with a plan, and I mean, Elo is so highly predictive of who's going to win, and in this case, the higher Elo player has just taken a tremendous advantage early.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people signed up, and I'm very thankful that they're interested to play and vision. Being the higher end of the spectrum, I'm really happy that a lot of these guys did, in fact, decide to join. I'm glad they're giving it a shot. Getting to this level, obviously, it's going to be difficult up against opponents that are being. Our lowest low player is like an 1100. We have all the way up to A3, so.
Yeah, but in the end here, Tech has taken essentially no damage. It's just the self-inflicted idle TC. He's behind a few villagers. It's something that can definitely, be come back from. But he looks like he's very far from mustering anything which would possibly be able to damage Weber. Yeah, and Kados is calling you out on your mic, cutting a little bit. I've noticed that in recent casts a bit as well, but I have no idea what it is. I know you don't use push to talk or anything.
Yeah, I am at a loss when it happens, honestly. It's like my noise cancellation or something like overrides my voice. I don't know.
Maybe just stay close to the mic.
If I could eat it, I would at this point. Like, it's right there.
Yep.
Let me see if I can get rid of any sort of noise suppression.
Well, you're crystal clear right now, I'll say. But yeah, if you can toggle some settings, it'd probably help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Tech, though, with no resources inside his walls, when he does eventually get to Castle Age, it's going to be incredibly underwhelming. I mean, any sort of high-powered Castle Age unit is going to require him to use the market, which will just set him further behind economically. I hate to say it, man, but this game kind of looks like it's devolving into some sort of like survival scenario where Tech is going to hang, man. But I wonder if he even imagines any possible route to victory in this situation.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. I mean, obviously he's given it his all here, and honestly, he's probably going to shift into Skirm, like you said. He is going to be farther behind, but Skirm would counter everything that's on the map right now.
Yeah, man,
No
but you know in
production,
Castle, a player of this level will recognize that he has full map control, and upon hitting Castle Age, he'll either build a forward siege workshop. Yeah, you see that house foundation out there. The Vil must be coming out. He's gonna have a mangonel in his face in a second.
Yep, will indeed. Thank you, Knight, for the subscription. Appreciate it, man. Looking forward to more games myself as well, so will be a lot of fun. Club Chariot. Big numbers of military forward here. Castle Age on its way for both players. There comes the range that we thought we'd see. TechChariot's having the same issue I have with my go back to work button. Sends everyone to one farm, but...
Yeah. And Weber here is definitely showing some respect for TechChariot. I mean, he could have attacked the walls, he could have dived, he could have tried to end it, but Weber, I guess, is just being careful, guarding his military lead, and looks like his plan is to kill him slowly here.
Yeah, I mean, he is going to lose some man-at-arms in the town center here, potentially, if he's not careful, but small little mistakes like that actually will help Tech stay alive for this one, and we'll see what happens. But, yeah, TechChariot is a few Vils behind. Siege is going to be in his face, and he's going to shift into Skirmisher. Wood lines are now going to be the problem, as obviously no gold, no stone within these walls. Arabia Gen here, very open. Can be quite harsh at times.
Yeah, I mean, simply his best wall off here did not include any golds or anything. So, I mean, Siege or Monks, possibly with Redemption, would be the normal things that have the potential to flip around such a huge military lead. It does look like he's going for the Monastery with market abuse to fuel it. This is going to be very expensive, man. I guess he could sell... Oh, that's a Siege Workshop. Yep. Well, you know what? A few lucky Mangonel shots, and he actually could equalize the military here. But...
yeah, it's just very rough because all of his wood lines are so exposed here. This map was not favorable for him. Even if he is able to defend from the siege, he's going to be losing villager HP and villagers before too long, as he's only got 2 wood lines that are fully rangeable right now from the crossbows on both sides.
Yeah, and he also has no blacksmith upgrades, so these skirms will die horribly when the engagements come.
Now, Tech will really need a few big shots here. And it looks like he might actually get the mango. Nope, it is being paid attention to. And it's going to be difficult for him to take that one out. Another one on its way for both. TechChariot is losing Vils on the wood line, however.
Yeah, I mean, and this is just the death by 1,000 cuts here. TechChariot has not taken any big damage for any, appreciable amount of time, but he's just slowly getting whittled away. And yeah, his situation just gets worse the longer the game progresses.
A really nice attack ground there from TM Weber, and then we have TechChariot getting the 1-for-1 kind of deal. But this wood line is the problem here. He's losing Vils. He's 10 Vils behind at the moment. Under massive pressure, crossbows spread out. Military gap is 28-2 right now, and there's 20 idle Vils. Won't be too long, and I imagine this town center won't be standing at this point.
Yeah, and TechChariot, his economy is like essentially 50% idle on average. 0 gold income. He must be just in pure survival mode at this point. I mean, I guess just trying to minimize damage and get these units off his front. Things such as counter-attacking must be totally off the menu for him.
Well, yeah, his only military are mangonels right now, and 1 scout. Did clean up some crossbows on the wood line. Mangonels are looking for a shot on the crossbows as well. A few more crossbows on that other wood line, though, making it very difficult here. Alright, TechChariot grabs another kill there on a Mangonel, staying alive with those. Crossbows will split. Oh, the micro. The micro here.
It's good micro, man. With 2 mangonels, he probably could have, maybe taken out half those crossbows with some smart attack rounds, but still, in the end, yeah, there's no way TechChariot's going to come out ahead militarily.
Yeah, absolutely.
A respectable struggle. I feel like these kind of dynamics, will be seen quite often in the early rounds of this tournament.
For sure. Like we said, the elo gap is going to be quite severe for some of these. But nonetheless, TechChariot puts up a solid game 1, holds on for as long as he can, and then we're going to see the maps again, and we'll go to his home map here in just a second, guys. Mayans get the win, Byzantines with the loss. Home map for TechChariot or TechChariot will be Monkey Arena. We'll be into that game just a moment, guys.
Yep, and a lot of these games where one player is very heavily favored, I look quite forward to the game 2 home map of the player who lost Arabia. At least like myself, looking forward to possibly some very difficult rounds. If I find myself ever in a huge mismatch, my ambition will probably be just to win my home map. Aiming to win the series when you're 400 or 500 elo behind is kind of a fool's task.
Absolutely. We're going to be at 10 seconds to start this one, Jabari.
Yep, count it down.
All right, at 3, 2, 1, go. Game 2, TechChariot is choosing to play Aztecs here. I got kind of surprised here. Thought for sure we'd be seeing Italians from him, but nonetheless, Aztecs it will be. And then we have Poles for Weber. Jabari, Arena, these civs. Your thoughts?
I've never cared for Poles as a 1v1 arena civ. I guess like some sort of tower play or castle drop into O-books into eventual heavy cavalry is what they go for, but it doesn't feel especially streamlined and powerful early like, things like castle drops into OP unique units or monks can be. Yeah, I'm not going to be so bold as to predict what these players of such high levels are going to go for, but Poles are not something I'm fond of here. And on the other hand, TechChariot rocking the Aztecs. I feel like monks is the thing to expect and the most probable move here. And a clean monks build, I think, does very well against the Poles. The only real defense is for the Poles to go into like light cav, and if TechChariot's able to defend his monks from that, he should be okay. But at the same time, man, you just can't discount this elo difference, man. Like, even if you're hard countered, I feel like 400 elo can always get the better, man.
Yeah, I mean, Arena has been very, very entertaining for us in the previous 2 brackets, so we'll see how this one works out here. TechChariot, a bit of a clown, in my opinion, so he does enjoy the arena strats, and he does like to play monks, so I wouldn't be too surprised if that is, in fact, the play. But Poles, I feel like if you're in a 1v1 against Poles on this, with this Civ matchup, I think you go Obuk.
I guess that's what you're supposed to do.
And I think Obuk and go forward castles and towers, I think, is try to deny res, and even if you lose then some Obuk, it's not as big of a deal because it's not as mobile as a knight would be.
Yep, I mean, the Poles have the bonus where they get gold from collecting stone, so the standard thing to do as a Poles player on Arena is to collect only stone. So you're kind of always looking to tower or castle early as Poles, just because you're going to happen to have the stone, which does naturally lead into Obuk, but I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure Aztecs are considered to be a higher tier pick, but monks are so micro-intensive, man. And I feel like Weber is going to be just on top of his micro, man. Tech is going to have a hard time keeping up.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility. It's hard to say, really, until we get into the later stages of this one. Especially, like you said, with this elo gap. I mean, who knows what Weber is actually going to go for. He could just do a massive boom until he gets imp and then just flood Cav. I mean, you have no clue at this point. So, full work coming in. This building is such a nice addition to the whole civilization here for sure. Emu Warrior is getting some answers from chat, but Jabari, why would you say that the jungle arena is different than the classic Arabia, right?
Well, I mean, it is just a few years behind the current one, so all of the balance changes that have come in since DE are absent. The starting res, like the food in particular, the sheep, the boars, they are farther away than you would see today. Like I think just the fundamental way that the wood generates on the map, as we see a trush coming in for poles. I assume that's a trush, but yeah. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted by the game we're watching here.
Yeah, it has to be a
but
trash.
the wood on the modern Arabia, I feel generates similar to how like the gold and the stones do. Like they place the player TCs and it's always extremely far away from any of the wood on the map, and then they like populate a few forests around it. On Jungle Arabia, it really kind of looks like they generate almost the entire map first, and then they just like smack the TCs down in there, possibly clearing some trees from around it. I don't know, man. It's just retro. I didn't script it. It's the Hidden Cup 2 version. It's more wallable. The starting res is farther away. And besides that, it does feel like a bit more random to me, man. Like, there's very little you can rely on for it. Sometimes you get an incredibly good map. Sometimes you get an incredibly bad map. I don't know, man.
That's a pretty solid answer, I think. It kind of gives everything that you could need to answer, I believe. Another thing with it that I've noticed and I enjoy most about it is it's not as hilly as this current ranked ladder Arabia.
Oh, there's definitely hills.
Yeah, but it's not as bad.
Arabia.
You can find town center spots so much easier.
Yep, and you know, this is actually a pretty weird tower placement. I think that you're supposed to put it smack up against the wall. Yeah, I mean, it's 100% visible still, so it's not like you're hiding it by building it here. And I don't know, man. He's a higher elo player. Maybe it's actually safer one tile away. It gives him the opportunity to like quick wall it better or something. I shouldn't question these small things about it. It's if I ever think I know better than a player who's significantly higher elo than myself, I probably am wrong.
Yeah, it's very rough too. TechChariot was not clicked up, so he will have to alter his plans. He was going very late in this up, but he will put some palisade walls down successfully for now. Will likely lose access to these berries, which will hurt.
Ugh, this palisade wall is so much Vil time and resource, and TechChariot was going for a fast imp. That's kind of the worst thing you can be going for when you get trushed. I mean, the best way to defend a trush involves Castle Age tech, and this 28 Vil click up is going to mean that TechChariot is going to have to suffer this trush for so long before he gets to Castle Age. Like,
he's going to fight it.
I believe this is correct. You have to send a bunch of Vils. Yep. Very nice. Maybe Weber underestimated him, didn't think that he would think to do this, but TechChariot certainly has a numbers advantage with Vils here. Though the monkey in the mix, man, is quite the beast.
Monkey went down, though, early, so he was able to try to deal with this, but he did end up losing a villager in exchange. Another tower will come forward, and some houses this time in front, so Weber kind of starting to pay attention to this. But counter tower should be in here before too long, and some nice building placements, although kind of risky to use your buildings here.
Yeah, he won't get these up. I mean, honestly, you send however many villages you need to, you might lose some to repel this.
He's sending them all.
Yep, I approve of this. I mean, towers go down pretty fast to vills if you're willing to, idle your entire economy to attack towers. And no other option seems as good as this right now, as Tech basically is pushing this back completely. Very well defended.
Yeah. Full commitment. Lost 4 more vills. Actually sending another vill out. Oh, he's going to trap these vills in here.
Very.
So he wants to take these vills out. Actually not a bad decision. He is losing a lot of vills, so if he can trap these few vills in here.
Yep, I mean, in the end, he has suffered 7 vill losses. That's actually kind of catastrophic. Weber does have like 5 vills worth of idle TC time, though, so the vill count isn't that different. But in the end, this is definitely worthwhile for Weber. Tech still has not clicked Castle Age. He doesn't have the buildings. But it looks like Tech will be much faster to Castle Age. He'll be fewer than 5 total vills behind. Tech has survived this, but at the same time, the whole point of a Trush is not to kill, but just to put you in an advantage position, and this Trush certainly has accomplished that for Weber.
Yeah, I mean, it's worked out just fine. I'm actually kind of surprised for the commitment to this tower rush, being as the ELA difference. I would have thought he may have only sent 3 vills for it, but he ended up sending 5 in total, which is interesting number.
I think it's because 5 is the maximum garrison amount for a tower, so...
Oh, it makes sense. It's not something you see a ton, I feel like. But I don't watch Arena a ton either, so there's that.
Yeah.
Oh
boy.
Stonewalling behind this is what's placed here.
Tech is going to hit Castle Age with 22 vills. That's enough for some nice monk play.
He's putting another mining camp here, so it's 100% commitment to gold.
But Weber is going to have so much more eco. I am skeptical that Tech is going to be able to close this out before Weber essentially just is bringing a fully upgraded max pop army. Monks are super effective when the unit counts are low. But versus a player who's fully popped up, and able to spam light cav and whatnot, monks are just horrible.
Castle Age will be in. There's going to be a siege workshop to start, actually, so he just wants to clean this up, it looks like.
Yep. I mean, you want the siege workshop when you're going monks anyways. It's the only way that you can hope to get into their base and do damage. And it also, in this case, of course, helps to clear up the towers, so I definitely approve.
Yep, Weber finally does have his buildings, and he's on his way up. Won't be too pressured here, though. That is what he wanted.
Yep, TechChariot says he initially forgot Loom. That would kind of explain why his vills were melting. Every time I checked that Eco KD, I was actually shocked at how many he had lost. No Loom kind of explains that.
Yep, we do have another tower coming down here. Again, this is probably just furthermore to delay, but I think he's probably going to be pulling these vills back before too long.
These vills have really made themselves a home away from home here. I feel like they might just stay around and keep towering and repairing.
Maybe. I just think he's going to back up based on what he's doing here. He's not really doing much there. He does delete the house. Like he will probably head out. First monk on the field for TechChariot. Villager count is off by, 6 vills altogether?
Yep. And momentarily, TechChariot has the score lead, which actually must be huge for his morale.
Yeah, indeed. He's probably pretty comfortable with his position right now. He did lose some, but he was up faster, and he's still going to be able to go for the strategy he wants. And his opponent did invest a lot into these towers. That will soon just be pushed back.
You can say he invested a lot into these towers, but as polls, there's a perspective from which these towers were free as, a consequence of his gold collection.
True.
He definitely invested less in these towers than TechChariot did trying to stop them.
Yeah, but, I mean, we'll see what happens. Looks like our poll player is going to 3 TC boom behind this. And I think TechChariot still with monks on the field, headed out. Try to grab some relics, I would imagine.
Yep.
But he could get all 5 relics at this point, to be honest. Doesn't look like we have a monastery from Weber. What's up, Yo-Yo Dude? How can I miss this? That's a good question. How could you? TechChariot's not creating any more monks right now. Are we mistaken at his play here?
I mean, his original plan was to fast Imp, so now he's just kind of improvising. Given the circumstances, I feel like he has to continue to queue monks and siege and just hope that he can win fights. Like, there's kind of no room for indecision in a situation like this. So, given his resources and his buildings, just committing to the siege monk push seems like the only way that he'll be able to muster a powerful attack in a timely manner. Booming to be competitive in bills doesn't seem smart. Like, trying to go imp for monk techs doesn't seem especially smart. Weber is actually quite vulnerable to monk mangonel at this point. He doesn't even have the barracks up yet. TechChariot actually has a window here, man, and a careful castle. I won't fault it, man, but I'm feeling like a forward castle and aggression would have given him a much higher chance of eventually winning this game.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I think he wants to play defensively, probably due to what has come forward against him already, and his knowing that he's a little bit lower in the elo, play a little bit more passively.
That's funny, man. If I find myself in a similar situation, plan to go hyper aggressively with total abandon.
I just mean with the castle. Like, he doesn't want to risk losing, like, having a doubt castle here. He was like, he's going to have knights out. I will just build this here.
This castle, man. This castle does such a good job defending the front of Weber's base. I mean, it denies TechChariot the ability to go right through the front.
I think Tech's going to go for this faster imp, though, honestly. I think he's still going to try it. He's getting some monk techs. He's got 2 relics in already. It looks like he will probably grab at least 3.
Yep, it is okay, man. But I think his window of victory would have been like a stronger Castle Age attack. Poles can just bring the Cav spam, and that's just going to absolutely wreck his monks, man. Like, he's not close enough in the Vil count to even possibly protect his monks with pikes as he would hope to. If this goes to Imperial Age, especially given the current Vil count, Weber is going to steamroll him.
Yeah, I mean, Tech is going to click the Imperial Age here, so he is going to be up to Imp with, 3, maybe 2 monks on the field, and 1 Mangonel. 39 Vils, very low eco, obviously. Interesting. Weber going to be able to boom on 4 TCs. He's going to probably just idle his TC as soon as he sees Imp come in. He'll be up himself.
Yeah. And Tech, I mean, the monks, his monk numbers are very low, man, and I assume he's going to be facing stable units. It'll be quite easy for Weber to switch into light cav. This is looking pretty dire for Tech.
See what happens, though. I mean, Imperial Age on its way for both. Poles should probably be favored here. He's just going Obuk, though. So, for now, monks will do okay against that. Redemption and Gold Shaft Mining coming in here for Tech. Gold is in plenty right now in his base, and here is another monastery. So, if he goes Obuk, and then we see a bunch of monks, he may have a little bit of time to try to do something with that still, I think.
It is possible that TechChariot will take some good early fights, but Weber is just so far ahead economically, he'll be able to tech switch in luxury. These Obu are just have some military presence, I feel, while he waits for his cavalry.
Obut coming over. This monk does not have its conversion stuff available at the moment, so he will likely have to just run outpost next to outpost. Gotta love those things. Tech did take and convert a monk, interestingly enough, or convert a Vil.
A second barracks. That is very surprising to see for Weber. I guess he's planning to go champion or something. I don't know, man. Double barracks as Poles versus Aztecs is not something that I would ever think to do.
Yep, Aztec warriors or Jaguar warriors, Aztec unique unit on the field here. But Tech is going to be in trouble with this Mangonel being exposed. More Obut coming out, and a forward castle actually coming in this direction right now. Trebuchets are being produced, and unfortunately for Weber, this will be within range of the Trebuchet.
Yeah, I mean,
adding Spearmen. Even.
Yeah, Tech might have some good fights here in early imp, but I don't think he'll ever close this economic gap. And
I mean, if I've learned anything from watching arena games over the last 2 months, is economy doesn't always equal a win here.
Perhaps, man. But in the cases where the low eco player wins, they tend to be actively wrecking the higher elo player. In this case, Weber has a lot of ground he can afford to lose before his core eco is under siege.
Very true. We'll see. It looks like Spearman Monk Treb right now is the only thing on the field here. Maybe a few Jaguar warriors, but I mean, this castle is going to go down here. Looks like, anyways.
Yep, as Weber starts to get the cavalry upgrades, so the inevitable Poles Cav spam is definitely upcoming.
Yep, Mangonel comes forward, will be getting shot by the castle. Somehow he doesn't lose that. And he might actually take out a Treb. Is he going to try for it? No, it's being repaired. Castle will go down though. So I'm sure that is a small win for Tech here.
Yeah, I mean, Tech has the larger military at this point. Tech actually has the stronger military at this point, and he's taking good fights, man. It's just, win the battle, lose the war, possibly, is what's going to happen here.
Conversions coming in here, though. It's always helpful.
Yep, and Cavalier being researched for Weber. I'm not sure if he got the unique tech yet or not, but it's actually probably good for Tech that Weber is going into Cavalier first. It makes the possibility of big conversions a lot more realistic than if he was going for light Cav.
Yeah, Tech's already into pikemen though too. Like with all these monks behind right now, and the food economy, I guess he hasn't really queued that many units back behind this. He does have a few build up in the base, but not many.
I mean, the thing though is that he's behind more than 2-1 in Vils, so his fights need to be taken with more than 2-1 efficiency. And as good as all these, I don't know, man. Tech's rolling him up. Maybe Tech's doing it, dude. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, this castle is just going to get this Tech in the nick of time here. It looks like a little bit more because he started repairing it, thankfully. But we'll see what happens. I will heal you. Thanks for your resub, dude. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying. I don't know. I really like this push here, and I think if the piping numbers continue to grow and he pushes out and gets some more resources, he's going nuts on this monk situation. Even walking under tower or under castle fire right now. Gonna lose one, but no one recommends a monk fire getting under arrow fire, but I think we need another Treb or two, honestly, from Tech too.
I think Tech has a nice core of trebuchets here. I guess what he probably needs is more economy and the ability to better spam pikes. I guess I feel like Tech still eventually loses to light cav spam, but it doesn't look like Weber is going in that direction. If Tech gets a good round of conversions on these Cavalier, he'll actually possibly be in a fine position, but I see Weber now is massing up those light cav. And yeah, let's see Tech's Monk Micro here, man.
X gonna convert to barracks. It's like, production, I'll take that.
I like that a lot, man. He actually needs those barracks because his biggest problem here is 100% going to be cavalry.
Yep, another treb coming forward. This castle is costing a lot to keep this up. Weber's buying stone actively here for 200 gold for 100 stone at this point, and now he's out, and this castle is going to go down, I think.
Yep, but Weber, I don't know, man. This is not
Tech's game.
I refuse to believe that at this point. Weber has the ability to spam light cav, man, enough to win these fights. It is true that he's housed horribly. Yeah, honestly, dude, if Tech continues to take out these houses, Weber is going to be unable to use his last, 50 population space.
There's enough monks to convert over almost all of the military here, if TechChariot is going to be that big of a nerd. Garland Wars is going to finish too, so actually this infantry will have a very nice attack here. Still missing the attack upgrades, but +4 is going to be nice. And, I mean, the Treb numbers are here. Tech really could use some more population behind this, but, I mean, right now he is the one pushing. Winged Hussar does come in here.
The thing is just the Tech cannot replenish his army, man. He needs to win the fights so decisively. With at least 3 to 1 KD. Yeah, bombard cannons are not a smart move against Aztec.
Oh, he's okay. He deletes his walls. I was like, if he fights in this choke, it's going to be really bad. Lots of conversions going to come. I can't even possibly count how many are going to come in here. We'll see if this fight turns out to be good or bad for TechChariot. So far, it's looking okay, but not great. Pikes out of position here. Lots of monks are going to go down.
I think it's great for Tech, man. Look at the military count. The monks, they're all woolaloing. You know what? This is just ridiculous, though. He's still down 3 to 1 in eco. Tech won that.
He did.
So hard.
Convincingly.
He won that fight so hard, but I don't know if it's enough, man. Maybe 3 to 1 KD isn't even enough for Tech.
I think he's fine. He's converting siege. He's raiding the economy now with the units he converted. He's got all these trebs still here. The pikemen continue to file in. I think it's over. He's just going to continue with this push, I think. All the production goes down. There's not much room back here. Military difference 52 to 9. He tried to convert a stable, it got deleted.
And the pike count is high enough that it seems like pure light cav spam will not be sufficient here.
Yeah, I think it's over.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm so reluctant to accept that.
I don't know either.
Tech is...
Of all people, I think you should be most accepting of this kind of strategy win here.
Well, this is just so uncharacteristic. The low pop player is normally doing an early push.
This is beautiful, is what this is.
Yeah, this is definitely unlike any arena game I've ever observed.
Yeah, and all the production is going down. All of the units converted are just sent into raid. There are Jaguar warriors killing the gold here. The food income is 38 on food right now. Weber has 3,500 gold in the bank. Not able to get gold out on the field. Another batch of wing hussars come in. The pikemen are in position. The monks are here to get some conversions as well. Military pop was growing for Weber, but TechChariot, did he even lose a unit in this? Few monks maybe, but converted more winged hussar.
Yep, Tech has it at this point for sure. We are going to be going to Jungle Gnome at Game 3 here. Which, honestly, man, has some of the craziest RNG and a lot of upset potential. Tech, I was thinking we were going to see some big upsets in this tournament. Maybe we're seeing one in the first set here.
Yeah, I mean, again, the Winged Hussar will come out, but there's way too many pikemen here. There's actually, 6 Trebs now as the 6th one comes forward. Monk numbers are at 11 still behind this, so all these pikes have full health right now. Farming eco being abandoned. We're shifting into ranges. Pole do have decent ranged options.
Yeah, but it's too little, too late, man. Some skirms to accompany or arbs would have been fine earlier, but now it's just inconceivable that Weber's going to be able to put together a military that can push this back.
Yep, and it's crazy, but the monks and the pikes were enough to hold and convert massive numbers here. Rez is trying to be pushed out here for Weber. He keeps buying food, but he can't even produce that many elite skirms.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he just hasn't lost to a player in the 1200 elo range in a long time, probably, and can't believe this is happening.
I want to see an Axolotl warrior. I want to see it, Tech. Don't disappoint me, Tech. He's converted 2 stables. No, but there it is. I've completed all my life goals. By the way, this last one. But yeah, no, this game is definitely over. Look at these little Axolotl warriors. Love them. Last of the economy being pushed from Weber. Weber not willing to accept his defeat here.
I mean, he does still have a Vil lead, but they are trapped. It doesn't look like he's run with any of his eco, so...
Yeah, he only has a few gold miners over there, which I believe they just ran out of gold. No, they're building a stable. They won't have gold for long. And even if they do, at this point, it's 83 military. GG, well played comes in. Tech with the crazy Aztec monk pike push here with some trebs. GG's.
Yeah, that was insane, man. I can't believe Tech was able to pull that off. I guess, honestly, I'm really impressed with his monk micro in the big fight. There was like one fight right after the castle got pushed where both players were kind of at full strength, and Tech really had a lot of woolalas going there for sure, man.
Yeah, I'm looking at conversion numbers right now. 32 conversions for Tech. Killed 75 buildings.
Yep, and that brings us to Jungle Nomad. I did notice, though, that Weber used his first pick on Spanish, presumably for this map. And it's possible that Tech was kind of just letting it be an afterthought which civ he would take for this, because his draft does not include any top-tier Nomad civs. But the map has so much randomness that it's possible that even with a civ disadvantage, Tech could find himself in an incredibly favorable situation just by the graces of map generation.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some really rough gens on this one, and we've seen some solid play from both of these guys this morning. Weber still probably the favorite going into this one, but TechChariot will forever brag that he beat a 1700 player.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, there is a weird dynamic with lopsided tournament games where often the better player does end up giving up a game. I'm sure that it's some combination of overconfidence, lack of preparation, or perhaps, it's also the fact the lower rated player is so focused on, winning just one game by any means. But if you're the higher rated player in this situation, you turn it the fuck up for game 3, I feel.
Yeah, you're warmed up now. It's time to go.
And yeah, if you had some sort of psychological complex before where you can't lose to a 1250 player, you just completely dispel that at this point, and you show them your game face, I feel.
Yeah, well, let's go. I am on 5 seconds when you're ready.
Let me load it up.
All right. GG's. That was a hell of a turnaround. I'm most happy because Jabari was very negative towards that winning, and then it did.
I mean, why don't we start this Nomad game first, and then we can talk about that last
3,
one a little bit more if
2,
you care to.
1, go.
Yeah, yeah. Even up to 1700 or whatever Weber is, there are players who still just never play arena. It's possible that he is one such player, and there were actually a few dubious things about Weber's play. The Poles pick, I don't really understand. Adding multiple barracks, I don't know if he even produced a single barracks unit all game was also suspect. But the end of the end of the day, extremely well played by Tech. Don't want to take anything away from him there on that win, man.
For sure. And yeah, Texan chat says that Weber hates Arena. Well, that's not good for him when you have to play it. But ultimately, picking the Poles, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting choice. I mean, they are definitely very viable, I feel like, on that map. But we'll see what happens. And Emu Warrior, the next question he just asked, Italians on Nomad, there's no water. This is true, but I actually like it, especially if you think you're up against Spanish. Genbo, kinda good against Spanish.
Genbo is fine against Spanish. I don't know if it's like the same kind of power unit though that conquistadors are, where it merits rushing up a castle just to get them. But as far as ultimate comps go, Italians having access to Genbo is nice. As Tech finds himself with an absolutely lovely starting lumber camp spot.
Yeah, and
While the
again,
Spanish player here is actually wrecked by the map generation. Tech Man is in food heaven, and Weber here is in a food desert.
yeah, we saw this with your set in the finals versus Restort for the last bracket, and the player who doesn't end up finding anything to scout with and any food is just so painful. I mean, it's not what you want to have happen on this map.
Yep, I mean, I think that I played it not too far off from optimally given my vision, and I was down like 4 vills or something as a result. It's possible that by the graces of this generation, Tech is going to find himself with like a 3 or 4 villager lead just thanks to his fast early food access.
Yeah, I mean, and the Vill is coming back for Weber, so he is not even going to bother looking for more, it looks like. I'm guessing he's going to drop the TC between the woodline and the berries here, and that will be rough.
I mean,
TechChariot will have tons of hunt.
At least the berries make it possible to keep constant TC production. But yeah, it's so much worse than having sheep or deer or boar. As Weber actually has no sheep either. Weber might be going down to Tech here, man.
We'll see. We'll see. It's a little early on this map, Jen, to call it. There's still a lot of sheep and a lot of hunt out there. Unfortunately, we don't have any of that in the vision for Weber. He did come all the way down here to the south and just did not find any food either. And actually, yeah, he did see the berries. Would have liked the TC over here in this little area, closer to the berries myself. But nonetheless, TechChariot's TC is going to be going up relatively at the same time. Even with the Spanish builder speed, Spanish will actually win the race. And there will be enough food to sustain a few vills produced right away. But yeah, TechChariot with the advantage here on the food around the TC for sure.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, this is kind of what I was hoping for TechChariot's sake with this jungle nomad. And Weber, I mean, he's doing the Vill scouting. You kind of have to. Finding sheep, finding boars, like, it's definitely worth the potential, like, idle time to just have a Vill wandering around for that. But it's just barren out here. Like, he's not going in the right direction. This is like, if you're Weber here, you almost think it's like a bugged map with no food.
Yeah, I mean, he might get lucky and run into a sheep here for TechChariot at least, and that will give him some sort of vision, but it looks like he's not going to find that either. He's going to walk all the way around here and end up finding the boars and maybe some hunt and PC here for TechChariot. I mean, this map is definitely an interesting one. A little unfortunate not finding any sheep early, but out of all the games we've seen on this map itself. We've only seen that happen twice in 2 full previous brackets.
I think we saw a pretty bad starting food gen for like a Cal Dio Roja as well. I mean, this map seems like it's brutal for at least one player, maybe half the time, honestly. Like this, maybe this is like a go-to map for people who are really hoping for some RNG heavy stuff, man.
We'll see. TechChariot going to bring in 2 boars at a time here. Ballsy. He did do this against me the first time I ever played this map. It was very entertaining.
Yep, I kind of don't like it because of the rot, but if you don't know where your opponent is, I can understand just taking as many boards as quickly as possible just to deny the opponent the opportunity to get them.
Yeah, for sure. And we did have 1 sheep walk under the town center here from TechChariot scouting, I believe. So we do have that being the case. Actually walked near the berries and giving some food to his opponent here. That actually really helps Weber at this point. 100 food is big. This Vil over here on the other side, however, did see some boars and this one house. He will finally locate some sheep if we continue. Nope, he turned around. How unfortunate. About to walk into some sheep. There's another scout out, though, that has located a few.
Yeah, but I mean, it seems like Weber is getting into it now, and in the end, yeah, he's 4 Vils behind for it. That is a lot, but I don't know if it is enough. Let's see how Tech plays this.
Tech did bring in both those boars this time as well, so he actually did bring in all 4, and he's going to lose a Vil here, so that's actually good for Weber too. He's now only down 3 Vils.
Yep, and I believe Weber also has Loom while Tech doesn't, so he's not quite down a full 3 Vils. Tech can afford that. It probably hurts a little bit in his psychological game to take that loss because he has no way of knowing how bad a shape Weber's in. It's possible he actually assumes that he's behind being verse Spanish, and given the fact that Weber actually has the score lead.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we'll see what happens, though. I mean, the number is really getting closer, I feel like. Even with the 2 minutes of idle time for Weber, he seems to be keeping it active enough. Not doing too bad. Both players do have Loom as well, but it's ultimately like a 3 Vil deficit is all.
You say is all. I mean, 2 or 3 Vils in early Dark Age is absolutely tremendous. Like, the total resources those Vils would collect, even by like early mid Castle Age, is probably around like 1,000 res or something. Like, that's probably an exaggeration.
I mean, it's not great, but given the start, to only be down by 3 Vils, I think you are probably happy if you're watching this in your Weber right now. We will have TechChariot going to Stone here, nice and early, so 1 Vil on Stone. Definitely thinking about Genbo.
It's possible, man, that he just wants a 3 or even more TC boom. But I would agree that castles are probably coming up for him, both for Genbo and just for like defense, man. Like versus a high elo Spanish player, you're gonna have conks poking everywhere. A few Genbo plus a castle for cover fire will do you a world of good.
Big moment though. Bill is going to lure 3 boar to Weber's town center. Even if he loses this, it's worth it. And he's blocking with a Vil, it's carrying some wood around, and had blocked with a sheep. I mean, this is going to be huge for his food economy now. They were very far away as well here, so very well done. Even going to save the Vil.
Yep, and if anybody doesn't know, you actually only need to keep one of the boar within your line of sight for that to work. So long as the boar can see each other, they're not going to get individually de-aggroed. Thanks to the Gaia Fog of War stuff, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yep, Tech going to have some quick walling battle against TM Weber here. Weber seems to be doing just fine, though. And TechChariot may even kill this Vil. He's only needs 2 more hits, I think. That will be beneficial to him. Weber finally feeling rich in gold of food. But we'll see what he goes for here. One thing we haven't really talked too much about is the other res distribution on the map. Gold, very favorable for Weber over here. He will have a lot of gold. Stone, closest is probably the one in the northern corner of the map. Everything else seems to be quite distant from him. And then Tech to go out a ways for Stone, but he's already taking it, and it should be pretty safe for him. And gold is also looking good here in the west corner.
Yeah, both players have what they need for the short term. Those gold deposits, though, by Weber are going to be so nice in the late game. That, like, triple huge gold pile just to the right of his TC. But Tech has better stone access. He has all the gold he needs for the early game. His half of the map has, like, 4 different gold piles. I don't think either player is going to be hurting for gold or stone for quite a while.
Yeah, TechChariot also still has 7 sheep that have yet to be killed under the town center here. Is on the way to the feudal age. Looks like he'll have plenty of wood to drop down his market blacksmith. And I would imagine he'll be shifting to the castle age rather quickly. Weber up not too far behind, minute and a half or so. And he's heavily on gold, and I think he's just going to have to go knights. He did come down here with 1 vil on the stone here, but that is all that he has at the moment.
Yep, I would say knight opening is definitely what he's thinking with that many vils on gold. I mean, maybe he's just going to add a few and try and get some big raids with them. I'd assume that Weber is, no matter what, going to add a bunch of TCs and just try and get into a good economic position. But he ain't going to fool around. He'll be mixing in some military early to keep Tech on his feet and maybe get some lucky big raids.
Yeah, I don't really like that Tech came out here to this berry patch. I think this is really just wasted resources at this point. It's nice if you can control it, but I mean, if your opponent gets up in a timely manner, and it's not like Tech has the information on that, but lose those.
Tech is reading it correctly, man. He's rightfully assuming there will not be feudal age military on the map. He does have an outpost, so he'll hypothetically have a chance to quick wall and run. It's a well-calculated decision to take those berries, in my opinion, man.
I mean, it's not bad. It's just he has so much under his town center already. It just feels like a little risky, but hey, it's working so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's a good read on the game, man. He knows he's not going to be expecting feudal military.
Castle Age timing will be interesting here. Weber is going to be only about a minute and a half behind this, actually. Both players are taking stone. TechChariot has 7 vils committed to this, and looks like gonna have 9 more vils headed to stone. So there will be 10 vils on stone here for Weber very soon.
And both players are kind of surprisingly light on the wood front. I guess they're both really prioritizing their castles over their booms here.
Yep, stone walls for TechChariot will funnel himself into this corner quite nicely, where he does have 3 gold piles as well. Stones being his most exposed resource at the moment, and he could just castle this area if he so chose. Villagers arrive to the stone mine, so it won't be too long, and we'll see enough stone for a castle with 10 vils here. Another outpost here, a little farther forward for Tech.
Yeah, and I would just love to see Tech get another TC and cement his eco lead, but I'm not going to argue with the faster building of this castle here. With this, he has essentially a full walled base. And yeah, from the faster uptime, from the score lead, I mean, he must just know how much food he got. He got the full wall up. This is kind of a dream start for Tech. He's probably feeling quite good.
Yep, I would agree. Horse color coming in now for Weber. Eco upgrades looking fairly even now, but we do have clutching for our Italian player. And Tech is in chat and agrees. Double Stonewall over here for TechChariot, actually. He does not want anything to get through there.
Yeah, when I double Stonewall, I never double Stonewall, so I can't even finish that sentence.
Genbo on the map will be missing an upgrade or two for the time being. TechChariot did drop a few farms here, but right now his economy is fully focused on getting out these Genbos, maybe building up to the upgrades, but right now just adding farms and more economy here. Can't really complain much. He did pull the Vills back as soon as Castle Age came in, though, from those berries. Forward Castle here for Weber, and this kind of blocks up this choke, and he did find some more res as well. Conquistadors will be out on the map.
Yeah, but they should find absolutely no damage, man. Tech has no reason to leave his walls. Nothing is rangeable. Unless Weber breaks down a house, Tech is fully safe, man.
Yeah, and Weber gonna take a mill out over here on the stone mine by the castle, so it will be rather safe. Lots of food there, needing to keep his TC pumping as well. Villager lead is up to 7, maybe 6.5 here. And Genbo, not exactly the greatest raiding unit. They do only have, 8 range? 6 range.
They're definitely, yeah, they're like worse at raiding than standard crossbow line, basically. But they are a direct counter to the army that Weber's making, so they are a fine unit choice for this moment. Personally, man, I would love to see that second TC for Tech to cement the eco lead, but I'm not going to argue with this Genbo play either. As the first Conks put on some nice dodging and they get away with their lives.
And it hasn't deterred Weber at all. He did create another one here, so maybe he will be sticking with that. We'll see. Gonna find stone walls. Know that he can't do a whole lot. Monastery coming up behind this as well. Do have Botkin and Padded Archer armor on its way for TechChariot. On the other side, we don't have any upgrades at the moment, but Conquistadors are honestly really strong without them.
Yeah, like the best upgrade for Conquistadors is probably Husbandry, which, requires the building of a barracks, then a stable, and to get it for 2 conks, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, and honestly, this is where I expect we're going to see somewhat of a boom from either player, and we have yet to see a TC from either, which is kind of interesting. Tech is headed forward. He has enough stone for yet another castle. Wait, what is he going to build a stone wall here? He's going to stone wall to the castle now. Nope, reconsidering. TechChariot's not making up his mind. Going to stone wall that section off. All right.
Kind of weird choice. As, the second TC comes down for Weber. This potentially threatens Tech's lead. I mean, I'm rooting for the underdog here, and I am just praying that Tech drops a second TC soon. He's had the means to do so for quite a while, though he needs to idle the Genbo production. But, I mean, his military lead at this point does not translate into anything, really. It's kind of just posturing. It will be good to have later. Whereas an earlier TC and a better boom is kind of a win condition.
Yo-Yo Dude saying imp, so he's thinking that Tech will go Imperial Age with this one TC play. He is getting his buildings up, but his res is very far away. I guess if he sold his
I'd
stone...
agree. That makes sense. If Tech wanted to boom, he would have been booming by now. Like a super late second TC is not the best plan for Tech, but a faster imp into a very healthy Genbo army with Trebs and maybe Bombard Cannon, maybe Monks. That could win it, man.
Yeah, this castle...
Oh boy, Tech does not know about the enemy castle. Oh my god, please build it with more than one Vill. I'm like slightly worried the foundation. Okay, yeah. Slightly worried the foundation was going to get one-shotted there.
So was I. But we're good, and actually he's going to end up taking out the outpost here as well. This really does translate into a decent Imperial Age should he be headed that direction. He did just abuse the market quite heavily. If he can take this castle down and start to push back here, could be good for him, as we do see a barracks coming up here for Weber, so maybe he's going to consider transitioning into some skirmishers, or maybe even some siege to deal with this.
Yeah, an Emu warrior calling Tech the 2K player. Half of chat is saying Elo's just a number. Now people are saying that he's 2K. You can't have it both ways, guys, you know.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting best of 3 here. We'll see what happens. I like that Weber is still comfortable sitting in this position, not thinking that Tech will run past here. And he is taking a lot of food here for free. We will have Imperial Age a lot earlier than I think Weber is going to expect this, to be honest.
And Tech is going to start steamrolling Weber. But this is not Arena, man, where you like puncture their base and you're immediately ranging their entire economy. Tech is going to have a long way to slow roll, and Weber has lots of space to keep backing up. Like, Tech can be winning the fights hard for a long time, and Weber can continually relocate his economy. It kind of looks like Tech's gearing up for an arena-style push, but on a map like this, I feel like kind of need to end up mixing in Cav or whatnot. Actually, looking at the map generation, dude, if Weber gets pushed back into like the top corner, there's like almost no res there, man. Weber, if he loses this castle and the 2 TCs on the right and all the resources around there, is going to be pretty dead.
Yeah, I mean, I think he will lose the castle just based on the imp timing and the fact that Tech has 2 castles. One will obviously take a while to get the trap up front, but he will be able to outproduce rather quickly. And honestly, between the arrow fire, the upgraded archers tech from TechChariot, it's already down about 1,000 HP.
Yep, and Tech could also garrison the units here to make it a little faster, but I don't think that's a big deal.
Yep,
As he gets Pavise, yeah. Genbo actually is a really nice unit for this kind of situation where you're going to be behind an eco.
It does come in. TechChariot is only queuing a trebuchet out of the forwardmost town center castle. Not the greatest, but I mean, he is going to be ahead. He does have Genbo that will have fully upgraded Genbo, and then we will have what I guarantee are skirms coming from our Spanish player.
And Yo-Yo Dude's calling for Hussar. Hussar would be excellent for both raiding and for countering the skirms. Tech is not showing any signs of awareness that he's should be making that switch. It's possible it won't occur to him until he actually sees the skirms, and that is kind of reasonable. Like, it's hard to know for sure that the opponent is going skirms in this case until you see the production buildings or the units.
Yep. Eco is very, very in favor of Weber here, though. So these tech switches will be much easier for him. And I imagine we're just going to see Bombard Cannon just make condos. Yeah, condos would actually probably be a decent option here.
Condos are nice versus the skirms. They got some base armor, they got good speed.
And they require no teching into, really. Just defensive and offensive upgrades.
Indeed, yep, and they do have an attack bonus versus gunpowder, which I guess might, do bombard cannons count for that? There's 3 conks on the field and no castles, so I'm not positive there's going to be a lot of gunpowder. They're basically just, easier to upgrade champions, which is still pretty good.
Yep, few Veils go down here on the front. Trebs will march forward.
If these Trebs can take out the archery ranges, actually, that would be tremendous for Tech. That would set Weber's ability to mass skirms back by minutes.
I mean, the skirms are here. They're not in great number yet, so there's definitely that possibility here.
Yep, as Tech, he's also getting some Vil picks here, man. At least I thought he was about to go, get all these guys on the deer. The skirm numbers are getting to the point where they could possibly compete in a heads-up fight, and Tech still has nothing besides monks in Genbo. The fact that he's getting all these big monk techs, I guess it's mostly for bombard cannons. Maybe he is still expecting heavy cavalry.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be... He would think he's going to be available for this. He's going to see this coming in. If we take a quick look at his scouting, he sees the ranges, so he should be aware, and he's actually going into siege. I wonder if maybe he goes into Onager Mangonel line, actually.
Like, a single Onager man just makes it possible to win versus the skirms. I dig the Siege Workshop a lot. I think Hussar is kind of ultimately, maybe not necessary, like ultimately an excellent thing to add for raiding and for taking the skirms, but Mangonels will enable him to keep fighting.
Bombard cannons are in production somewhere.
Oh boy.
There they are.
Did Tech get redemption though, man?
I think...
I didn't know...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I did notice in the last game that Weber kept making bombard cannons long after the point where Tech was routinely converting them.
Yes, and we'll see if that upgrade is in or not.
Oh, not worth the dive here, bro. He's got full upgrades on the skirms. Yeah, if you're attack here, I think you need to retreat until you have an army that can take this. These skirms are basically in equal numbers to the Genbo. The Genbo army is, like, honestly irreplaceable. This is an unaffordable engagement. He really wants the bombard cannons. But this Genbo army is his only army. It hurts so much to see them taking these hits.
Yeah, they will get one of the bombard cannons. Trebs will be at risk here. Probably going to lose one, if not two, before these head back. A few monks have gone down in this exchange as well. And now we have the Cav upgrades starting to come in.
I think
Barracks on its way up.
Tech did fine there. That was a bad fight, but he retreated with respectable numbers and recognized and is immediately acting on the need to Cav switch. Nice play. Nice play.
Villager numbers are still excessively in favor of Weber. He does have all this gold back here secure. In the north, he does have some stone villagers at the moment. So plenty of res left for him on the map. It's not like he's going to be having any issues there. TechChariot adds TCs behind this as well.
Yeah, and Tech must not have gotten redemption, or these bombard cannons would be getting the treatment, I feel.
Do Italians get redemption is my question.
Let me check in my game right now.
I know there's a good number that don't.
Man. They get it, man. The Spanish, Italian, Byzantine, all of like the Roman type civs just have basically maxed out monks.
Fair enough, fair enough. 4 bombard cannons here. There comes redemption now. He's probably going to lose his forward position on this castle. He is going to retreat. He's not even going to bother trying to keep it. He knows he can't. The stable numbers are up to what will soon be 4. And TechChariot is trying to add some economy behind this.
Yep, this is fine, man. TechChariot is now losing the fights, but it is in a controlled manner. And Weber, he's starting to tech into his own heavy cavalry. Tech, though, he does have the full monk upgrades. He does still have healthy Genbo numbers, though he's not replenishing them. It does seem like as they get deeper into their tech trees with more tech switches, Weber probably be favored just by virtue of his stronger economy and ability to field larger armies and tech switch more quickly.
Yeah, and I think the skirm numbers being here constantly mean these Genbo really aren't that sustainable, so I don't really disagree with him not producing them anymore. He's teching into Cavalier now, and he just does not have the food economy to support kind of production, and he's actually going to lose stables here. Monks are going to go in, and they're going to be desperate here, but the Cavalier could come in at the same time. There could be 4 conversions. 2 already. 3. That was big.
Yeah, I mean, that is just quite literally like 700 gold, 700 wood, not to mention all of the other like time and opportunity of that. I mean, it also like spells the inability for bombard cannons to be effective for the rest of the game. That was just tremendous, man.
Yep, Monk is here, gets another conversion on these. So he did a good job, did lose a few monks in the process, but altogether, holding pretty heavily at the moment. Still behind in economy though, and the Genbo numbers are not all fighting. They really should be up here fighting in this.
Yeah, as Tech is taking this fight,
He's
and
winning
Spanish,
this fight, actually.
he is winning this fight. I mean, Spanish though, they just have like such a complete tech tree. I will note that Weber never got supremacy, which I honestly think is a big game changer in these situations. But Tech, man, he appears to be doing it, man. But versus a fully boomed Spanish player, you gotta really do something special to push him back, I feel.
Yeah, and I think he should just maybe put a gate in his stone walls in the north and send a few cav in and see what's going on. Would be beneficial, I think.
For sure, man. You gotta raid. Like, outright, it just is a difference maker. Honestly, like, up to a 1700 elo player, man, like, they just don't lose unless they get raided. You can't just win fights at the front and leave their ego untouched.
Yep, Cavalier are doing a good job here for both, though. And with this economy, you have to think Weber's in the advantage. TechChariot not even able to spend a lot of his economy, lacking the eco and the upgrades coming in still for both. This castle will go down here, it looks like, though, and the Genbo getting some nice shots on the Cavalier, and it looks like, are they in production? Yes, they are being produced, though.
Yeah, love to see the Genbos in production. Spanish have excellent cavalry, and a few Genbos mixed into the fight just tips the balance so favorably for Tech. Yeah.
Another
Yo-Yo Dude asked about Tech's gold situation. He's basically exhausted his safe golds at this point. There's like...
He has like 1,200 of them right now.
It's getting dicey, man. He's going to need to... 1,200 can be spent really quickly, man.
Yep. For sure. Miss Evelyn, thanks for stopping by and chatting. This is the Capture Age Pro feature, but this is what the graphics look like. Not much difference. The scoreboard and everything is a little bit different than in-game, but ultimately this is still the graphics in-game. Alright, there is a Cavalier, and there are Vills, and they are passing up a gold here, and Tech is going to try to stonewall in this gold, so he will try to have access to that there. Big fight on the side, though, here. Genbo numbers going down, Cavalier numbers going down. Oh, this is a bad fight for Tech here, and he's going to lose, I think, everything.
Yeah, and this is absolutely unaffordable for Tech. He is like only half as capable of replenishing his army as the opponent, given the Vil situation. The Genbos in particular just literally cannot be repopped quickly, as Weber has microed the skirms hardcore all fight to focus those.
Yep,
and Trebs are now left exposed.
Siege Ram completing here for Weber behind it as a massive upgrade. And Tech will have a hard time defending, as he is mainly going light cav right now, not even the Hussar upgrade in at the moment.
And Tech has phenomenal resources at this point, but he kind of lacks production buildings, and his opponent is just rather properly fully popped and fully teched. So even if Tech were to slam the production buildings and get things pumping, there's no reason to think that he would be able to match the opponent's army. I worry that Tech has fallen a bit here, man. People were saying Elo's just a number. Tech really tested that, but it looks like his days in the Banano Open Classic are coming to a close here.
Yeah, Hussar upgrade coming in, but a castle coming in on all of this. Another castle in defense here for Tech. But like you said, gold is ever running out. Looks like it's down to about 700 in total that he has yet to mine. So he will be without that very soon. Paladin upgrade has been clicked here. So we'll have Paladin instead of Cavalier soon. And the Siege Rams are making their way forward. Siege Rams will flatten everything. There's no military for tech. 59 military to 4 right now. Kind of a reverse of what we saw in that arena game earlier.
Yeah, I mean, Tech, he put up an excellent fight, and honestly, taking a game off this opponent is a tremendous accomplishment. I only hope that I'm able to take even a single game off of a similarly skilled opponent in this tournament.
Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I don't even know how long TechChariot will stay in this one. His production has completely been depleted, and he sent a whole bunch of vills forward earlier, ended up losing those. Right now, skirmishers are just plucking away at the HP on these Hussar. There will soon be a whole Cavalier. Will probably run in here, and castles and everything behind this will be eaten up very quickly. Paladin is in. GG, good luck next. Weber will take it.
Yeah, very impressive play from Tech. I know I keep on like harping on how good the guy who just lost did here, but those were some banger games, and my respect for Tech's play is like tremendously higher after watching that than it was before. Not to trash talk how he was before, but damn, bro, those were some good games.
GG's indeed. And we'll update the bracket in a minute. But we'll probably only get one more set in after this one. This was pretty lengthy, actually. So
yep, that's good. It's good to save some sets, man. We don't need to power cast everything.
For sure, for sure. But first, guys, we interrupt this regularly scheduled program for some great farewell music.